Today is February 15th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today we are going to be reading a new chapter in the Big Book. We're starting that. It is Chapter 11, A Vision for You, pages 151 and 152. And we're going to be wrapping up Step 6 in the 12 and 12 by reading pages 68 and 69. So with all that, my friends, let's get right to the good stuff. So we just wrapped up Chapter 10, Two Employers, and now we're on page 151, Chapter 11, A Vision for You. For most normal folks, drinking means conviviality, companionship, and colorful imagination. It means release from care, boredom, and worry. It's joyous intimacy with friends and a feeling that life is good. But not so with us in those last days of heavy drinking. Old pleasures were gone. They were but memories. Never could we recapture the great moments of the past. There was an insistent yearning to enjoy life as we once did, and a heartbreaking obsession that some new miracle of control would enable us to do it. There was always one more attempt and one more failure. The less people tolerated us, the more we withdrew from society, from life itself. As we became subjects of King Alcohol, shivering denizens of his mad realm, the chilling vapor that is loneliness settled down. It thickened, ever becoming blacker. Some of us sought out sordid places, hoping to find understanding, companionship, and approval. Momentarily we did. Then would come oblivion, and the awful awakening to face the hideous four horsemen: terror, bewilderment, frustration, despair. Unhappy drinkers who read this page will understand. Now and then a serious drinker, being dry at the moment, says, "I don't miss it at all. Feel better. Work better. Having a better time." As ex-problem drinkers, we smile at such a sally. We know our friend is like a boy whistling in the dark to keep up his spirits. He fools himself. Inwardly, he would give anything to take a half-dozen drinks and get away with them. He will presently try the old game again, for he isn't happy about his sobriety. He cannot picture life without alcohol. Someday, he will be unable to imagine life either with alcohol or without it. Then he will know loneliness such as few do. He will be at the jumping-off place. He will wish for the end. We have shown how we have gotten out from under. You say, "Yes, I'm willing, but am I to be consigned to a life where I shall be stupid, boring, and glum like some righteous people I see? I know I must get along without liquor, but how can I? Have you a sufficient substitute?" Yes, there is a substitute, and it is vastly more than that. It is a fellowship in Alcoholics Anonymous. There you will find release from care, boredom, and worry. Your imagination will be fired. Life will mean something at last. The most satisfactory years of your existence lie ahead. Thus, we must find the fellowship, and so will you. How is that to come about, you ask? Where am I to find these people? You are going to meet these new friends in your own community. Near you, alcoholics are dying helplessly like people in a sinking ship. If you live in a large place, there are hundreds. High and low, rich and poor, these are future fellows of Alcoholics Anonymous. Among them, you will make lifelong friends. Alright, so we're stopping at the bottom of 152 today. Definitely want to come back to a few things that were mentioned here. Such good stuff. And just to review what we read in the 12 and 12 yesterday, we asked a pretty targeted question about the sixth step, which was, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. And he explains that only step 1, where we made 100% admission that we were powerless over alcohol, can be practiced with absolute perfection. The remaining 11 steps state perfect ideals. They're goals toward which we should look, the measuring sticks by which we estimate our progress. These are lifetime steps for me. Something I look forward to working on for the rest of my life, because it helps me to live a better life and be a more joyful person. So with all that, we're going to finish off Chapter 6. It's a great chapter. Bottom of page 68. If we would gain any real advantage in the use of this step on problems other than alcohol, we shall need to make a brand new venture into open-mindedness. We shall need to raise our eyes toward perfection and be ready to walk in that direction. It will seldom matter how haltingly we walk. The only question will be, are we ready? Looking again at those defects we are still unwilling to give up, we ought to erase the hard and fast lines that we have drawn. Perhaps we shall be obliged in some cases to say, this I cannot give up yet. But we shouldn't say to ourselves, this I'll never give up. Let's dispose of what appears to be a hazardous open end that we have left. It is suggested that we ought to become entirely willing to aim toward perfection. We note that some delay, however, might be pardoned. That word, in the mind of a rationalizing alcoholic, could certainly be given a long-term meaning. He could say, how very easy. Sure, I'll head toward perfection, but I'm certainly not going to hurry any. Maybe I can postpone dealing with some of my problems indefinitely. Of course, this won't do. Such a bluffing of oneself will have to go the way of many another pleasant rationalization. At the very least, we shall have to come to grips with some of our worst character defects and take action toward their removal as quickly as we can. The moment we say, no, never, our minds close against the grace of God. Delay is dangerous, and rebellion may be fatal. This is the exact point at which we abandon limited objectives and move toward God's will for us. All right, guys, that concludes our reading today. As we finish up and as this is fresh, I'm so grateful that it talks about progress instead of perfection. I'm grateful for the elaboration on this particular step that's in the 12 and 12, because I certainly struggle with it, as I've shared before. These steps are kind of like the North Star. I just got to follow that North Star. Even if it's baby steps and I'm tripping over things, following this North Star and everything, and I'm almost at a crawl at certain times. Even then, if I look back, I'll see how far I've gone. See how far the God of my understanding has carried me. I just got to keep my head up, keep my eyes on that North Star. What I would call maybe these steps. Because truly they've given me a closer relationship with my higher power. And this is just me. This is just my experience, strength, and hope. I believe that my higher power is a gracious, loving, caring God. And He's not expecting me to be perfect. He's expecting me to trust in Him. And if I can keep moving toward that North Star, that's a good start. So going back to the big book real fast, I could certainly relate. Man, there was some great reading in those 2 pages. I could certainly relate to the person that says, have you a sufficient substitute? Like after years of alcohol abuse, which was filling the hole in my soul for a little while. I mean, I didn't know who I was without it for a long time. And it was the great improver for a long time. Movies were better, music was better, until it turned on me and my life became unmanageable. So when I gave up alcohol, or when I was going to give up alcohol one day at a time, I thought to myself, well, who am I without it? What am I going to do? Life's going to be so boring without it. And I love what it says in the following paragraph, especially this line. The most satisfactory years of your existence lie ahead. And it talks about the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous and sobriety along with it. And I can only tell you from my experience, strength, and hope that sobriety and the friends that have certainly helped me so much. I've gained peace and I've gained a family that will help me trudge through the road of happy destiny. And when I trip and I fall, they'll lovingly extend their arms and lift me back up and pray for me. And I'm telling you, I have gained so much in sobriety. It's everything alcohol gave me at the beginning and 1,000 times more than that. And it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but my friends, I am not. I have a peace that truly passes all understanding. And those promises that were after that 9th step, they have certainly come true, and they're coming true each and every day. But for me, I have to work these steps, these suggestions, follow this North Star every single day. Because I can pick up that worry, I can pick up that self-centeredness, that pride, that ego, that fear. I can pick all that back up at any moment. So I gotta work it every day for me. But as I try to say every time, the work is so worth it. Sobriety is so worth the work. And I hope and I pray that that will be the same for you. I hope you all have a great day, and I am looking forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.